It's now time for your favorite in-depth basketball show, Full Court Press, with the myth, the legend, Raindrops Goulet!
You're listening to Full Court Press with myself, your host on this basketball journey, Justin Raindrops Goulet. I hope you guys are doing great, keeping tabs on all the action going down March Madness. It's been huge this year, plenty of upsets. We're going to be talking about that. And of course, I've got part two of my interview with Mr. Lavione West. I'm really excited for you guys to hear that. If you didn't get a chance to catch part one of my interview with Lavione, you can take a break with this episode. Go back, go to yourlisten.com. I have all the episodes up on that site right there. You can listen to part one of my interview with Lavione West. Now, like I said, I want to talk some of the March Madness, see what's happening in the NBA, and how the NCAA tournament could affect the NBA draft that's happening this summer. And of course, I need to bring up Survivor and give you guys an Uncle Cliffy update. It's some tough news I'm going to be breaking to you guys. I don't really want to have to do it, but it has to be done. An update on Uncle Cliffy, Clifford Robertson, on Survivor. Now let's go into NCAA March Madness. One of the biggest upsets in the second round that everyone's talking about is 10th place Stanford defeating number 2 Kansas. The Jayhawks lost 60-57 in a heartbreaker on March 23rd. Now what does this mean for Andrew Wiggins, the Canadian phenom? The kid only had 4 points in the final game of the season, basically a shadow of himself. He's had an amazing regular season, 4 points. I don't know what happened. Maybe he fell under the pressure. Who really knows? There's so many questions about Andrew Wiggins. And you look at the last 4 games, Wiggins had 41 points, 30, 22, and then 19 in the tournament's opener. So I don't know. Was it the pressure of moving on to the Sweet 16 round? Who knows what actually happened with Andrew Wiggins? But the point being is that Kansas was defeated by 10th place Stanford, and Stanford is going to the Sweet 16. Now, looking at the NBA draft, if this affects Andrew's draft stock, I don't think it will be by that much, because players, they have bad games, and I've heard a lot of people give Andrew Wiggins some grief over this. But look, he's a freshman, he's a young kid, there's a lot of pressure on him, and at the end of the day, basketball is a team sport. I don't necessarily see him going number 1 in the draft, but in the world of sports, surprises aren't that uncommon, so we'll have to see what happens. Now, speaking of the NBA draft, another player that's been in the mix for going number 1, aside from Wiggins' teammate Joel Embiid, who was injured for the entire tournament, now that the Jayhawks are out of the tournament, Joel Embiid didn't get a chance to play in the March Madness. Another player who's slated who possibly could go number 1 in the NBA draft is Jabari Parker. Now, on Friday, March 21st, though, third place Duke went out in the first round to 14th place Mercer. That's an underdog story right there. Mercer taking out Duke. That was one of the first big upsets of the tourney. But remember what I said last episode. Duke, they have trouble closing out big games. I called it. I'm saying it right now. I called it. Duke, they didn't make it to the next round. They were knocked out in the first round of the NCAA March Madness tournament. It could have been an easy win for the Blue Devils, but as it is, they are out of it. Now, looking at Jabari Parker, a much better performance in his team's final game compared to Andrew Wiggins. Jabari was able to rack up 14 points and grab 7 rebounds in the loss. And you compare the two during the regular seasons, Andrew Wiggins, he had 17.1 points per game and 5.9 rebounds per game in his freshman year, and Parker 19.3 points per game and 8.8 rebounds. Now, personally, I'd love to see Wiggins go first, high up in the draft because of my own Canadian background, but if we're specifically looking at Parker and Wiggins, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that Jabari Parker will be drafted higher than Andrew Wiggins. I'm saying it right here on Full Court Press. But now we just got to wait a couple of months to see if I'm right or not. We'll see what happens. Now let's look at some of the other upsets in the NCAA tournament so far. How about them Dayton Flyers, guys? In the second round, they take out the third-place Syracuse Orange, who had an amazing regular season. They finished 28-6 on the year. Now, Dayton defeated them by 2 points, 55-53. That's crazy. Very low-scoring game, some missed shots, tight defense. That's just what happens. Now, personally, I didn't, and I think most people can agree with me, I didn't expect to see a Dayton-Stanford matchup in the Sweet 16, but that's what's happening, and it's insane. That's what March Madness is all about, that craziness, those surprises for us fans. But congratulations to both those teams, and best of luck going forward. And a shout-out to Canadian Mr. Tyler Ennis. 19 points for Syracuse in the loss. Tough to see another Canadian knocked out, but a very strong showing from Tyler Ennis, not just in the tournament, but in the whole regular season. He had 12.9 points per game and 5.5 assists per game. In 7th place Connecticut, they defeated 2nd place Villanova. That's not that much of a big upset as the other games I've been talking about, that it's still something solid right there. 7th place Connecticut defeating Villanova. They're going to go on to the Sweet 16 to face Canadian Melvin Agim and the Iowa State Cyclones. Iowa beat out North Carolina 85-83 in the second round. So a shout out to Melvin and of course to his fellow Canadian and teammate Naz Long and Mississauga's Nick Stauskas, who plays for the Michigan Wolverines and dropped 17 points in the team's 79-65 win over Texas in the second round of the tournament. Now quickly bringing it back to the Wiggins family, Andrew's older brother Nick was part of probably one of the biggest upsets the tournament's ever seen, not just this year, but in NCAA history. This is huge. If you don't know what happened, this is what went down. First place Wichita State is knocked out of the tournament. They're gone. Sayonara. Kentucky defeated them in round 2, 78-76. All these big upsets so close, these close, heartbreaking matchups. Now the tournament's getting more and more interesting by the matchup, and before we wrap the March Madness talk, Warren Buffett, he issued a challenge to anyone in the world. He said if anyone were to pick a perfect bracket, then they would get $1 billion. Of course, no one's really had a perfect bracket so far, but that's an unbelievable challenge. One of the toughest things to do in the world is predict a perfect NCAA March Madness tournament bracket. It's almost impossible. It's crazy. The odds are unbelievable. But now let's shift the focus, go to the pros, look at the NBA. No major changes to report from last week for you guys. Looking at the standings, as of right now, the race to the playoffs is looking pretty much the same. But one big thing I want to talk about is Mikhail Prokhorov, the Brooklyn Nets owner. He wants to relocate the parent company that's in charge of the team to Russia. Now, this comes at a pretty crazy time with the situation being what it is in Russia. But he said that the move does not affect any NBA rules, but as of now, the league has yet to comment on his proposition. So we'll see what happens moving forward if the Nets, they become the Moscow Nets, if you will. Now, what do you guys think about all this? Let me know on Twitter at JustinGoulet21. We'll see what happens going into next season. Now, Survivor. It's time for the tribe to speak. By tribe, I mean myself. Big spoilers if you didn't see the March 19th episode. Right now, I got to break some sad news to you. Clifford Robertson, former NBA Sixth Man of the Year and All-Star, is off the island. On the March 19th episode, the tribes merged into 2 different groups, and for the first time, Cliff went to tribal council. And the one thing I didn't want to happen happened. He was voted off. It sucks, but I gotta say this. As much as I like Uncle Cliffy, he didn't do that much around camp to help out. You know, he's fun guy to be around, but he didn't really help the tribe, gather firewood, stuff like that. He didn't really do that much around camp compared to someone like LJ. LJ was another contender to get knocked off the island. LJ survived, and I think LJ does and did way more around the camp area than Cliff. So that's just the way the island life goes on Survivor. Now, speaking of island life, on the show, they sometimes have to eat some disgusting food, some really nasty grub. But here's something you have the choice to eat. It's not part of a challenge. Now, I know this is a basketball show, but I'm throwing a curveball at you with some baseball news. The Arizona Diamondbacks have a new corn dog fans can purchase at Chase Field. It's an 18-incher stuffed with cheddar cheese, jalapenos, and bacon. It's $25, and in case I didn't mention it, it comes with a side of fries too. So, if you're in Arizona, want to go see the Diamondbacks play, give yourself a food challenge. Go for the giant 18-inch corn dog. Why not? Well, that's enough of that food talk. Let's switch it back to basketball. It's now that time of the show for the interview. It's part 2 of my very special talk with Mr. Lavione West. Time for you guys to take a trip to Mongolia and hear more about Lavione's amazing experience. So enough of me chit-chatting. Let's shift the focus over to Lavione West. So now you're in Mongolia. What's the mindset like? Because there's a huge time difference. It's a 13-hour time difference. What's your daily routine? Is it all the same? Did it take you a while to adjust?
Oh, it took me so long to adjust to the time difference. If people haven't traveled across the world, like jet lag is a real thing.
Yeah, I haven't really experienced it that much, but
you hear it in movies and like people that travel all the time, jet lag this, jet lag that, and I'm letting you know firsthand it's a real thing. Like, I will wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning here and be so wired up.
Oh no!
And it's 3 o'clock in the morning and I couldn't do anything, and I would be so tired at practice. Like we have practice at 7 p.m. At practice, I would be so dead tired. It was not funny. Like, and it took me like a full week to adjust to the time difference. And sometimes I still wake up early, wired up, and it's like, man, I'm still not fully adjusted. But Other than that, our routine's pretty much the same. I mean, it's basketball. You have to have the same approach no matter where you are. Although my role here in Mongolia is a little different than my role was in Mississauga, but it's nothing that I can't adjust to.
Yeah, exactly. Now you say your role's a little bit different. What do you mean exactly by that?
Here in Mongolia, they look for me to score the basketball, shoot the basketball a lot. They look for me to be a key player. And in Mississauga, I was an energy guy. I was a bench player. Like when people weren't having good games or foul trouble, like I would go in and try to step up for certain allotted minutes. And there's nothing wrong with that, but I felt that I should have been playing a little bit more. But at the same time, it's the business. And me being first year out of college, I really couldn't argue with the decisions that were being made. I just had to roll with them.
Exactly.
And that was a lot of the conversations that Alex and myself had with me with the confidence thing, like don't let it get to me, don't let it get to me. And at times it did get to me. It was a little frustrating because we were on the losing streak, and I felt that we should switch things up. But at the same time, you got to go with what you know. And not a lot of people knew who I was. My resume isn't that strong because I'm just out of Division II college. So those are just the blows that you have to take, and I took them, and I think it made me a better basketball player and a better person.
Well, there you go. That's definitely a great way to look at it, because you got to wait, you got to patience, you have the patience, and then eventually you get your shot. Now, did the team in Mongolia, did they welcome you with open arms? Was it easy to make bonds with your teammates? How's that all going down?
Oh man, like Mongolians as people are wonderful, amazing people. I got here, I got off the plane, people were so nice. I got to my apartment with the other two Americans, they were nice. First day of practice, everybody just welcomed me with open arms. It went a lot better than I thought it was going to go. I thought I was going to have to work my way in.
Yeah.
But it was no, I came in, they welcomed me with open arms, and the first thing they were saying was shoot, you shoot, just play basketball, shoot, and that's such a relief, hearing that, going from find this certain person to this certain person to we want you to shoot, we want you to go play basketball. It's a blessing, and I'm just thankful for it.
That's
and I'm thankful that they brought me here.
Yeah, for sure. It's a huge confidence booster when they're putting a lot of faith in you. It's it's great to see. It brings up the confidence. Now, is there a lot of Americans in the league, or are you one of the rare Americans that play in the league?
No, it's 7 teams. Each team has 1 American.
Okay.
They're allotted 3 Americans, and you can only play 2 Americans at a time.
Oh,
There's
okay.
a couple teams that have 3 Americans, and there's a couple teams that have 2. For the most part, I think everyone does have 2 Americans.
Okay, I see. Now let's I want to talk quickly about the NBA. How do you think this NBA season's going? Do you have any predictions for the finals this year?
I haven't been really watching the NBA as much.
No?
No, because the time difference.
Yeah, so that throws you out for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I would have to get up at 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, and it's tough. But obviously, a lot of people are going to hate me for saying this, but I am a Miami Heat fan.
No, you are? You're
LeBron James.
Have you been
not because of LeBron James?
So you've been a Heat fan for a while.
Yeah, I love D-Wade. D-Wade's my favorite player right now. Even though he's getting old and everyone says he's on his downfall, it happens. That's father age for you.
Exactly. I don't. Dwayne Wade's gonna play until he's 40. Let's be honest.
I'm hoping so. Keep LeBron around a little longer. D-Wade needs more rings.
Exactly. Yeah.
So if I'm gonna play fan favorite, obviously I'm gonna say Miami Heat. I want them to win because I want to see my guy D-Wade get another ring. Even though 3 is not bad.
Yeah.
three rings is not bad. I would like to see him get some more.
Yeah, 3 rings for number 3.
OKC. Kevin Durant's playing out of his mind right now. I think he was on a 14 games. On a 14-game stretch, he was averaging 37 points a game, and he's shooting 56, close to 60% from the field. Outrageous. Another team I like is the Pacers. They just got a big signing with Andrew Bynum.
Yeah,
and Paul George is a monster.
Oh, he's been a beast. I've got him on my fantasy team, so that's he's really helping me out there.
And out on the West, besides OKC, obviously the Spurs, like, you wonder each year how they get it done. That's just a bunch of vets showing you how it's done.
Exactly. They're fundamental basketball. That's what they do. That's what they bring to the court. So.
Exactly. It's not fun to watch at all. Once you watch all the young guys dunking and all that, then you got to turn to a Spurs game, and there's absolutely no dunking at all. But, like, I like what the Spurs have to offer. Like, they're a veteran team, a very smart, high basketball IQ. Every player from the first player all the way down to the last player on the bench.
Exactly.
So, like, if you're a basketball fan, the Spurs are fun to watch, but it just gets utterly boring at times.
Yeah. Are you a big fan of football? Did you catch this year's Super Bowl? I don't know with the time difference how that would work out, but.
No, I woke up and, like, my girlfriend texted me, like, it's just all bad. And I looked at the score at the time, and it was like 15 to 8 or something like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm going back to sleep. Like, I
don't
wanted
watch
Peyton
this.
Manning to win so bad, but like the old saying goes, defense wins championships. And
It's
that's
true.
exactly
It's true.
what
Yeah.
was displayed in Super Bowl 48.
Yeah, it was it was pretty rough for Broncos fans. Seattle really just took control of that game, but it is what it is. Do you have, if you don't mind my asking, do you have a routine that you go through before every game? I don't know if you want to reveal that, but if you do, just wondering.
Oh, no, it's nothing too in depth or anything. Like, I am kind of superstitious, but I eat.
Nice.
I like to try to take a nap before games. If you ask my girlfriend, she hates me for it. Like, I'm really quiet when it comes on game days. I like to shoot around in the mornings, eat, take a nap, and then just kind of get focused for the game. Like, I'll goof around, like, after the nap time.
Yeah.
But other than that, I like to stay loose.
Exactly. I was just going to say that.
I don't think anybody can play basketball, like, really uptight. And for the people that know me, they know I'm a goofy guy. Like, I like to laugh, crack jokes, and all that. Like, if you watch a couple games when I was at the Power,
I did see quite a few.
All I'm doing is smiling out there, win or lose, smiling, just trying to have a good time, trying to keep everybody relaxed. Because basketball is so hard to play when, like, you're too focused. And I do believe there is such thing as being too focused.
Yeah, exactly. When you were playing for the Power, I noticed you wear the safety goggles. Do you still wear those? Has that been like a lifetime thing?
Yes, it happened when I was at Southwest. I had a detached retina.
Oh, wow.
And I had to have eye surgery on my left eye.
Wow.
So I'm blind in my left eye.
Oh, wow.
I have a scar. I have a scar right in the middle of my eye, which will not allow me to see clear, like, straight on. But, like, if I look up the side of my eye, like, I can see clear.
Okay. Does that
So I wear the safety goggles for protection, so no further damage will be done.
Exactly. Does that affect your play on the court? Like, does that make it difficult to have that court vision?
Oh, no, not now. At first, depth perception, like when it first happened after the eye surgery and getting back in the gym after not being in the gym for two months, it was tough. It was one of those times where I didn't feel like I wanted to play basketball anymore.
Just, a really tough time.
But that's all I know. Like I said, from 7th grade on up, like, just basketball. So I figured I wasn't going to let this one little thing stop me. And then it was a little bit easier knowing that Amari Stoudemire I think it was around the same time, maybe the year before, had the same exact thing happen.
Yeah.
Where he had a detached retina. So unfortunately, like, he got his fixed right away. Mine took a couple months. That's why the scar developed, and that's why I still can't see 100% of my left eye.
Okay.
But yeah, like, it was tough. But now I'm so used to it, like, it really does. At times, I really think that I can close my right eye, and with muscle memory and everything, I can still know where everything is.
You just have that. Have that feel for it.
It's grown on me.
Yeah, for sure. Now, how did that happen? How did the retina detach? Like, how did that all happen?
To be honest, no one knows. I don't know how it happened. Doctors don't even know how it happened. Like, they say it's rare for it to happen in such young people unless it's like blunt force trauma or some type of head injury, which I had none of at the time. they say it's more common in like elderly people, but it does happen, and I was just one of those rare percentages where it did happen. Like it might have happened when I was sleeping or anything like that, like whatever the case may be.
So it wasn't even during a game. It's not like you got like elbowed in the face or anything like that.
No,
Oh, wow.
none of that. No trauma to the head, no anything. Just woke up one day, knew something was a little off, switched my contacts, thought it was that. Had really bad headaches and stuff, and like that year it was really tough. Like after the whole thing happened, it was really, really tough.
Wow.
But I persevered through it. So
There you go. Yeah. You got to stay strong, man, for the love of the game, right?
Oh, yeah, most definitely for the love of the game.
Yeah.
And just to show people that no matter what happens, like, there's still an out. And a lot of people get down on themselves. Like, they're always wondering, why does this happen to me? Or what? Like, I don't understand. Like, well, it's only me. Like, nothing bad happens to anybody else and things like that. But it is what you make of it. Like, if you make it a bigger deal than what it is, then it's probably going to be a big deal. But if you grab it by the horns and just say, I'm just going to run with it, then it could turn into a great thing. And in some cases, it may not. But as long as you try, you can't be upset with it.
Yeah, exactly. You just got to persevere, go through, right? Now,
Yes,
do you
sir.
have any like any pump up songs that you listen to before a game, or any like basketball music that you have? Just like a random throw out there, fun trivia question. Why not?
No, I don't have any like random pump up songs. Like I listen to a lot of everything.
Nice.
Well, my everything. Like no country, not for me. But like R&B, R&B, rap, hip hop, all of that. A little old school rap, new school rap. But right now, my current favorite song is. I know everybody's gonna laugh at me whenever you play this, or if I'm on there now. Beyonce, "Drunk in Love." Like that. That's my song right now, and like yes, I do listen to it before games, and I'm going to continue to listen to it before games until Beyonce comes out with a "Drunk in Love" remix.
Well, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong. A lot of people are down with Beyonce. I'm a big fan, so let's be, nothing wrong with that at all. Now, just what just for people who don't know, what's the name of your team out in Mongolia?
The Erdene Drilling Rigs.
Drilling Rigs. That's interesting.
Yes.
Very interesting
Yes.
name. What's like the logo you guys have? How does that even a drilling rig?
A drilling rig is the funny thing is I was just asking these questions the other day. What it is this big drilling machine. They drill down in the earth to see like what's like way down there. So like if you want to find out like there's gold in a certain area or like there's oil in a certain area, like you'll call our company.
Yeah.
Or the company that owns us. They'll bring out their big 1.5 million drilling rigs, drill a hole down there, and just get samples of the earth from like thousands and thousands of feet down.
Very interesting.
That's all it is.
There's like a little,
Yep.
kind of like a little science for us for the day. Now, do you live in a team house? Like I know you said you have an apartment out there, right? Do you live with any of the other players?
Yes, just the other two Americans, Christopher Moore and Corey Bethea.
Okay. Good stuff. Is there a good chemistry between you guys? Like, did you bond right away since you're the Americans on the team?
Yeah, I think we all bonded well when I first got here. The first day was kind of iffy. I just got off the plane. I was so tired, like I wasn't really myself. And then we had practice as soon as I got off the plane. Like it was, it was a crazy day.
Yeah. So you just got thrown right into the mix right away then.
Yeah. Most definitely.
Wow.
I got off the plane, had my first Mongolian meal, had some Mongolian lasagna.
Ooh, lovely.
And dropped my stuff off in the apartment, and we went right to practice.
Oh wow! So really, ain't no rest for the wicked. That's what they say, and I guess it's true with you.
That's exactly how it is here. No rest for the wicked.
What's next for you? Do you plan on staying in Mongolia for a while? Want to come back to Canada, play in the NBLC, or what are your plans?
My plans as of right now, I'm a right now person, so obviously finish the season on as strong as possible. Hopefully bring a championship to the Erdene Drilling Rigs here in Mongolia. But after that, I don't know. We'll see. Whatever the Lord has planned for me.
No,
I would like to go over to Europe and play in some of their leagues because Europe is the second best place to play basketball in any of their countries over there. So I kind of want to get my name in the mix over there and see how that goes and try to get into a better league. But if that's not the case, if that's not my calling for next year, hopefully I can come back to Mongolia if they like me.
Exactly. And, you're traveling the world. It's awesome. You're playing basketball and you're seeing all these amazing sights and sounds. It's absolutely incredible, man.
Yes, that is one of the main things of me playing basketball. You can ask my mom. I always show my mom, no matter what I do, I always wanted to travel the world.
Yeah.
I don't care how I travel the world. And now traveling the world, all expenses paid because of basketball is a blessing. Not a lot of people get to do what I'm doing, and it's just a really great experience. And I'm not gonna take this for granted at all.
Yeah, exactly. Just, enjoy your time out there. Now, for anybody like myself personally, I'd like to watch some games. Is there, anywhere online where people can watch these games?
As of right now, no, they do not have a internet stream.
Okay.
I think they're pushing for that next season.
Yeah, as the league grows and as basketball grows over there.
I think they're pushing for that. And so as for right now, no. When we get game film back, I'm probably going to post a couple games online via YouTube.
Okay, so you do. So you have a personal YouTube page.
Yes, I do. I don't remember the name of it right now, but I'll probably post it in. I'll probably post it in the link when I post the games on my Twitter or Facebook. So.
Nice. Now, is anything else you'd like to add, or
not really? I just want to thank you for the time.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Interview.
Absolute pleasure. You know what? And this might not even be the last time that we chat, because this is a fantastic chat. It was a lot of good stuff that we covered. Just for people out there, I got to follow you on Twitter. Do you want to plug your Twitter or a Facebook page or anything like that for the listeners?
Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter at Lavione Kenobi, or you can Facebook at Lavione West, first name, last name. And then Instagram is pink_Panther16. Nice.
Pink Panther. How'd the Lavione Kenobi thing come up? Are you a big Star Wars fan?
No,
it sounds great, so why not?
No, it does sound great, but I was hanging out with one of my friends. They were like, I'm gonna call you Lavione Kenobi, and I was like, why would you do that? And this person was like, well, it just kind of flows, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Lavione Kenobi. I was like, I guess whatever you say, but then I looked it up, and how you spell my name, you can kind of put a mix on it, so I mixed it into Lavion Kenobi, and if you kind of look at it, it kind of spells Lavione Kenobi, so it's kind of cool. It
just all works out. Now, do you have, this Lavione, is that your nickname on the court? Do you have a court nickname?
Ever since 8th grade, I kind of lost track of nicknames. 8th grade, I had so many nicknames. My favorite one that everyone called me back home is probably Hot Lava.
Nice.
My mom calls me by my middle name. No comment on that.
That's the secret of the show.
Yeah, Twizzler, because I used to love Twizzlers.
Well, who doesn't, really?
Munchie, because in 8th grade, every time we broke down, I would used to tell my teammates, do it for the Munchies, because I was in love with Munchies at the time. I have so many nicknames, it's ridiculous.
They all just pop out. They're a big part, why not, right? If you could have a bunch of nicknames, why not?
Yeah.
Well, this was absolutely fantastic, Lavione. This was awesome. I want to thank you so much for calling in. This was incredible.
Oh, no, thank you. I appreciate this.
My
hopefully
pleasure.
we can do it again.
Yeah, for sure.
And I just want to say good luck to the Mississauga Power, good luck to Nick O'Corey and the Island Storm, and do the best that they can. And thank you for the time.
No, thank you. It's an absolute pleasure. Like I said, we'll keep in touch, and, maybe we'll have you back on sometime.
Yep, thank you. Have a nice day.
Yeah, you too. Take care, buddy. So there you have it. Again, a big thank you to Mr. West. I was really happy to get this interview with him. We had been talking since around New Year's time. We wanted to have a chat, and I'm glad that we got to be able to talk. A big thank you to Lavione once again. A lot of fun talking to him. Now, before I head out for this episode, a quick look at the NBL Canada playoffs. As of now, the Rainmen and Storm are all tied up, and so are the Lightning and Windsor Express. They're all at 2 games apiece. Now, I'm keeping my predictions the same and saying right now, Depending on when you listen, I may be right or wrong, of course, but in the finals, I'm going to say it's going to be the Storm and Express. Book it right now. Well, sadly, I got to wrap up the show, so thank you guys for tuning in. Till next time, I'm Justin Goulet, and remember, folks, basketball never stops, so please keep the movement growing each and every day. Goodbye for now. I'm out.
You've just been hit with Full Court Press. Courtesy of your host, the man, the myth, the legend, Justin Raindrops Goulet.